So if you've been following along with this build, you know that I'm using or have installed the gas cap that came with the car. It's a nice gas cap. It's a good driver quality gas cap. It does have some cracking in the face there. The chrome is not perfect, but it's pretty decent. And I decided I wanted to upgrade that and go with the pop-out gas cap. So let me show you that. So here's the kit. Now this is, again, I purchased this from NPD. So there's the part numbers for that. And when you order this, you also need a set of screws that come with it, or don't come with it. You have to order the screws separately. And these are specifically for putting this together. So opening up the box, what you have is a combination of things. I'll go over this a little bit more as I move forward. And there it is, the pop-out gas cap. Now, why do they call it a pop-out? Well, it has this little release up here at the top. You hit that, and it pushes open on its own. Basically, it should push open if you're assembling it one way. I'm going to show you basically two different configurations. Part of this build is you have to put the pony emblem on, and that's pretty simple. It has posts on the back of the emblem, and it has these little snap washers that'll hold it in place, so that'll go on there. Now, what the kit comes with is two variations here. One is a locking gas cap, or I should say a gas cap that is retained on the filler neck. Just like your regular gas cap. You would put this on, rotate it, and lock it. Now, the idea is if you are doing that, that you can have this inside and this covers it. Okay? But the original design was for the spring-loaded cap. What that does is it attaches to the back side of the lid, and this portion here presses against the neck, and it's supposed to seal it. That's why it pops out. When you push this in, that spring will push it back out. So what I want to do is I'm going to maybe experiment a little bit. I think I want to use the pop-out feature. I think it would be cool. And it doesn't really give you any instructions. There's nothing in the box. So I think it's either one or the other. I don't believe that you can attach the spring to this without the whole assembly. So I'm going to open up this bag and move forward from there. Now, regardless if you're planning on using the pop-out feature or the locking cap itself, you will need to put the emblem on the back. So I've removed it from the package. These are the little snap washers that I talked about. Pretty tiny little things. And what I plan to do is, obviously it only fits one way. I have not test fitted this yet, but hopefully it fits right on. Hopefully. And it's a little snug, but it goes. Fits pretty nice, contours right. So now I'm going to take these little washers, and these washers have, it's really hard to show you this, but it has these little, the tabs actually are bent up on one side. That once you want to keep it that way. You don't want to try to go against that. So I'll start that washer on as best I can with my thumbs, and it went pretty easily. And then I'm going to take a socket and push that down, and that should lock it in place. Doesn't seem like much, but if it's enough to hold it on, that's all I'm worried about. Okay, now when you look at the other components here, you've got a spring, a base plate, a gasket, a cap, one small diameter bolt, I don't know what size that is specifically, and 4 little screws. So the sequence is you need to put the spring on first. The main piece, the heavy piece, goes in. Then there's a washer. That washer is going to go in the center, and that little bolt is going to go in the center of that. And I'll show you why in just a second. But let me get this started, get it tightened up. Now, I don't know if this is meant to be adjustable. Like, it's hard to show you exactly how far down this can go with that spring. But you see that bolt. If I press this down, that exposes that bolt. So I'm going to bottom that out to start with. And it does bind. I can feel it binding as it's going in. So that's a good thing. Now, I'm not going to go all the way just yet. I'm going to leave a little bit of play in that washer. Again, I think that's plenty. I don't want to go too far. You know, this is tightening up. Then this little rubber gasket. And that's going to line up on the 4 little holes that are in the base of that for this piece to go on. This can only go on one way. So you're going to line it up with those holes. And then these little screws are going to go in those holes. And I wouldn't tighten any of them until I have all 4 of them in. Okay, they're all started. And the point being, that gasket is supposed to stop gas from seeping past this. If you were to have an overfull tank or a really full tank and hit the gas and it would splash back up the neck, then this is supposed to stop it. Okay. That should be it. Now I just need to get it installed on the car. To do that, it has 4 screws, 4 countersunk screws, and that's what this kit is for. Hopefully it fits and works. Okay, so the gas cap that's on here is meant to have a cable to hold it onto the car. So if you rotate this, there's an internal cable right here, and there's a bolt. That bolt is supposed to go in that bottom hole and collapse. So basically, if you had that attached, you would rotate this up and lock it in. Pull that out, the cable attaches right there. So it hits your bumper all the time. Also, there's a series of holes here. I don't have any of the screws in because I did not plan to use this setup, and I knew I'd have to bolt this on. But anyway, you'd have to remove the screws that are there, and then this is the cap that came with the kit. So this should lock on, and it does. It fits nice. So keep that cap just in case you're having problems with gas coming out of the filler neck. So as I said, we're going to use the 4 countersunk screws that came in this kit. But there's also, on the back of the gas cap, the new one, there's another bolt. That's going to come from the inside. So I'm going to remove that. Now with that bolt removed, I should be able to, install this. Again, I'm not going to tighten all of these until I have all of the hardware in place. And of course I have to put that bolt on the inside. Shouldn't be that hard. Shouldn't be. Probably hard to film this, but I want to let you know that this is a 10 millimeter. That's disappointing. 10 millimeter, and I'm going to take a little bit of tape and tape it around the bolt head to the socket, because you're going to have to feed it in with an extension so you can get to it way down there. And just too hard to get the camera in place, but I'll show you afterwards. So basically, I fed the socket in with the bolt stuck in it and had to go down there and install it. Now that I have the bolt in, and make sure these are tight. Okay, let's see. It's there. I was a little concerned whether this would come down and hit the bumper, but it looks like it has stops built in, so no, it does not hit the bumper. I like it. Alright, it's in place. I will point out there is a little play in some of this. Like you can wiggle this around. This latch may not be as secure as it could be. I noticed when I was putting it together that it can pivot. There's little slots cut inside of this, and this thing can pivot back and forth. And I've read or heard other people having problems with these gas caps, and I can believe that. Hopefully I don't. Hopefully. But the idea is, you know, that it's supposed to stay latched, but I can see there's a lot of movement, and it didn't take much to pop that loose. So let's hope this works. But if it doesn't, I'll be sending this back to NPD, and I'll also let you know if I'm going to try to do anything to make it work better. But I think if they had eliminated the play right here, this latch, the rod where it sits in a groove, I think if they had eliminated that, made it tighter, it probably would not release so easily. We'll see. Make informed decisions whenever you get one of these caps, just letting you know. But that'll be the end of this video. So I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Hit that like button. And until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya. I just want to do a quick follow-up. I had somebody comment on my Facebook post that every time they hit a bump, this gas cap door popped open. So what I did is I was experimenting. I was hitting on it, hitting around it, hitting the panel, you know, different things like that. And what I found was, sure enough, it would pop open. So what I did, I removed the internal mechanism, the extra spring, the metal piece that went against the filler neck opening, and I just put in this cap by itself. Now it seems to latch and hold, at least at this point. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but I'm hoping that's all I need to do. I really like this cap, and I want to keep it on there for looks. But if I need to improve upon it, I will. Again, I'm not 100% satisfied with this, but I just thought I would show you this other option.